Okay, my mic's unmuted. I'm not sure why Kaze's screen looks like this, but there's nothing I could do about that. Yeah, this is TSDL, round of 64, Season S, Kaze307 versus Zuko. So, Kaze's running a debuff-oriented box with Reen, Kruger, Himiko, Bozo as well. On the other hand, Zuko's running... Definitely less debuff, but still debuff focus. It's like Liko traded for Himiko. Liko has some good defensive Oh yeah, I should ping TSDL. One moment. Okay. Both players first pick Hilda. It's pretty interesting because Kaze isn't running 3 tank. Zuko on the other hand is. And if you're running 3 tank, usually you want to pick a tank when a tank is banned, right? Maybe I would say maybe Zuko doesn't want Kaze to ban his or Zuko maybe doesn't want to be forced into picking dog, but versus this box, being forced to pick dog is just fine. You just ban Tejas and Elwyn, and those are the major threats removed. Then there's Birdheart and Mariel that can threaten dog still, but you could probably get around that. Although I guess Zuko's box doesn't have any assassins. So Hilda from Kaze shuts down Tejas. It shuts down Elwyn. Not so much Bernhardt. This yellow filter is like old timesy shit, right? Okay, on second pick Iris, you saw Rosin got banned and then Liana got banned, so your only option after that point was Iris. With Kaze's box, I would say he could probably afford to just double ban the healers and then rush Zuko with AoE debuff. Zuko would probably respond by picking Liko, which she would do okay as a healer versus that, so that's fair. More so banning the Kruger, but there's not that much debuff in this box, and then you just ban... Looks like his Windows nightlight must be bugged. I think it's Flux. It's a program that changes the filter of your screen, but it's okay. It's just fine. Not worth bothering him about. And Kaze responds to the Liana ban by picking Mariel. Or Florencia, sorry. Himiko ban, both players are definitely trying to limit each other's healings, but they're not fully committing to it. They want to ban DPS they're also not comfortable dealing with. And yeah, Zuko picks up Bernhardt. He can be pretty good against this Hilda. He can remove a lot of buffs, especially if you're running Mjolnir and Hegemony build. Rosin's also banned, so heal block is on the table because Liko was banned. Normally she could run Mass Protect to counter that. Damn, this music's making me sleepy. Excuse me. Okay, so Kaze picks up Kruger. Zuko can respond by banning Reen and Bodil. And then Kruger doesn't have any debuff follow-up. Kruger can still be useful regardless. Buff conversion, yeah, and that's exactly what Zuko does. Now Kruger doesn't have good debuff follow-up. You can still pick Ares on Kaze's side, and that can combo with Kruger being a primarily AoE unit. Maybe a heal block happens and Ares can find an opportunity off of that. And T-Just from Zuko. Risky against Hilda, but teleport can be good. The map should be considered as well as floating courtyard. Spaces are confined here. Albedo, I don't think you need a ban. What? You're running a primarily AoE composition, more than likely. It's not like any of your DPS can do anything against Hilda anyway, so Albedo being stacked on top of that isn't a big deal. Especially if you're going to pick Dog. Probably you want to ban Oldius, the zoning tiles. And Kruger wants to fly on this map as well. Flying is really useful. And yeah, Zuko picks up the Oldius. And yeah, he leaves up Ares and Elwyn, both units that are going to be significantly impacted by Oldius tiles. No peeking. Okay. So I would say the win condition for Kaze here is getting your dog on top of Hilda, with Hilda in range for her command, because it's not like Zuko has a fast composition that can really burn through this Hilda. Burn has to reach. T-Just, it's risky to attack with her into Hilda unless you wiped her troops first, so again, Burn has to reach. Oldius can do some okay damage as well. But Hilda's anti-displacement aura is the key thing here. You could run single target Ares and then go for sniping a unit as soon as your dog can get that lockdown. For Dog, usually, even on this map, he would want to run Lobsters, because if he doesn't, then T-Just is a pretty big threat. She has Hilda buff, that's 12% damage. Werewolves are not tanky versus magic at all. I don't think Dog can reasonably survive a sufficiently stacked T-Just. There's also Iris teleport, so when you jump in, it could just be T-Just killing your dog, but I guess as long as Dog is within 2 range of Hilda. No, even if you jump in with Dog in 2 range of Hilda, then you can just stack Hilda, right? And then Dog will guard. So yeah. Werewolves are risky. As we see, Dog did run werewolves. Not the default choice. You should be running burst magic. Iris teleport and T-Just teleport from Zuko's side can open up a fair amount of plays here. Oldius stall, it's pretty good. He brought light array, very good. Maybe you would, yeah, that dog is deader than dead. Yeah. You need lobsters. With lobsters, Dog can pretty reasonably survive. But there's also something to talk about, Cloak of Defiance. With Cloak of Defiance, you disable Sork's 100% attack, 100% HP condition before combat. Usually, Dog can survive that, no matter what. I wouldn't know with lobsters versus werewolves. Pretty standard Iris skill set. Jarden to give you opportunities to make plays. Jean-Paul to follow up on them. Even with lobsters, yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance T-Jess could just one-shot through that with Iris teleport. Poor stack T-Jess with damage buff, just one-shots. Okay, so Kaze brought Origins of Light faction buff, I think. It looked green, was that just... No. The Triton looked green, so I thought it was Origins of Light faction buff, but no, he did not. I would have been like, why would you run that? But Kaze has ended up with Florentia plus Hilda. That means there's a lot of act agains that can come out. Probably win a faction buff first turn, yeah. That way Florentia can start gaining stacks immediately. And the thing about 4-stack T-Jess is it takes time. That takes till like turn 3 or 4. But it also takes time for Dog to be able to lock down somebody. Because Hilda needs to be close enough for Odious to not be able to push the Dog off, or even Hilda with Ram. Ares is also gaining 12% damage here, but he's pretty locked down by these Odious tiles. He can reach... 5, 7, 8, 9. He can reach right in front of Odious on that tile that's clicked on. A somewhat weak Odious. HP is really low. Kaze's ran AoE Ares, so there is a chance that Odious could die to Ares initiation. If Ares crits and he's running Judge Talisman with only 9,000 HP and plus Kruger debuffs giving you a hard time, and Iris being a poor just debuff remover until she uses 3C, you could honestly go for just trying to kill Odious right here. You wouldn't get the retreat though. It would definitely be a trade. And maybe Odious isn't Zuko's strongest win condition. That's more so T-Jess and Bernhardt comboing to bust the Hilda. Or Dog dying. And killing Odious doesn't help too much with that. One moment. Sorry about that. There's not a lot of AoE coming out from Zuko's side, so you might as well use Strategic Regroup. Give all your units 2 turns of troop healing. Ares is actually in a dangerous spot. T-Jess didn't use her teleport. She can reach in between or above the pillar towards Kaze side. That's 3 move. Even if she only had 2 range, she could snipe Ares right now. Sorry, my headphones got unplugged. Yeah, TJS has the potential to snipe a unit here, but it would be a trade. She would definitely die to dog, be shocked following that. Would she? No, she wouldn't. So TJS going in for a trade here on Zuko's side looks really good. You snipe one of Kaze's units, and it looks like it would be for free. Dog should be in range if you snipe Ares. He has 5 mobility, and that's 1, 2. He can only move onto the tile directly left of Ares, and Zuko's going for it. Yeah, because he can just AoE, or he can just single target Ares from right underneath that pillar. Doesn't even have to go that far, but it doesn't matter because Hilda can just move up and guard. Actually, it is a mistake. Oh, never mind. Olius tile. She can just move back. So no problem. Hilda, if you're going to position that forward, even still, I think we saw that it wasn't genius, right? So if Ares is just above Hilda, that's all you have to do. Part of the power of TJS is that she has a large amount of plays that you have to account for. And the Olius combo is very nice because there's just no way to punish this. This 3C is premature. You can lock down the Olius, but it doesn't really help much with winning the game. You're also putting yourself into range of Bernhardt. Kaze does gain turn priority. Hilda can move above Dog, and then Dog still can't snipe TJS. Because he can't go through Olius tiles, and he's only 3 moves, so he still couldn't reach anyway. So Hilda moving above Dog looks like the right move. Oh. I should make sure Kaze is deafened. Not that I am talking in Discord, because I have push to talk, but yeah. Just in case. It wouldn't. Never mind. Anyway. Yeah. Somehow Hilda has no mobility. But Burn blocks the tile nonetheless. And now there's no follow-up. Olius can melee Dog, which would do some fair damage. He might die for it, so maybe, but no. Iris is still available. Yeah, and the shield on Dog. Yeah, he can move 1. And yeah, do you try to snipe the TJS with Kruger? It could be difficult because she has a lot of damage reduction, but no, it works. So it was a trade in the end. Dog still is unable to be killed. Olius can hit him. Iris is running Bolt Rangers, so she won't be able to do any decent amount of damage. And Kaze gained turn priority because one of his units got sniped, I think. Yeah, Kaze has 2 moves available, Hilda and Florentia, whereas Zuko has 3. And next turn, Hilda should be able to guard for Dog if needed. Or you could go on this map. You only need to block off 2 tiles to stall out your opponent. So Hilda could go diagonally of Kruger block off those pillars. I'd like it if Kruger brought Midnight Feast, and he did not. Midnight Feast could afford you some additional healing every time you're getting hit, I think. Yeah, Iris 3C just to pop everybody back up to full. I don't think Dog has water. What you could do is you can act again Hilda here, and that way Burn can't wrap around the tiles, or can't wrap around that pillar to be able to hit Dog. Acting again Kruger could also be okay. Kruger didn't use Dark Dragon Breath, he didn't use... Well... Yeah, no, that act again could be problematic. Dog could die for it. But I guess Burn will be injured. You probably use Evil Overwhelming, yeah. You want to cycle up his 3C debuff skill back up faster. You can use Dark Dragon Breath after that in the downtime. Usually Kruger wants to engage with Evil Overwhelming. Or Everdark Abyss, sorry. However, I do think Dog doesn't have water. Could Bernhardt still kill? Chances are high. Bernhardt barely misses it, even with water down. Werewolves ended up being a great choice here, despite fighting an Oldius, who could still do a lot of damage. 3C for Florentia almost feels greedy. But it should heal Dog up enough. I don't think Oldius would be able to kill. You could also just... Well, range attack on Dog. Yeah, no. I think Dog needs to be healed here. So it's good that Kaze's checking that. I don't know if Kaze knows his tank priority, because Dog does have Magic Guard. If you did know your tank priority and you knew that Hilda would block that, that could also be a good move. Because you can't hit... Oldius couldn't hit Hilda from there. But yeah. Kaze heals the Dog. This ensures his safety versus Oldius. But Kaze has lost turn priority. So a double hit could be really damaging. Strategic regroup was kind of wasted. Dog was on less HP than his werewolves, so it's more likely that the werewolves would get healed to full. Because if you add up the numbers, it was like a 9,000 HP heal. And Doggo's werewolves before he got healed had about 6,000 HP. Yeah, this should... It does a fair amount of damage. It dispels a buff as well. And now... Those werewolf sustains are really crazy here. But Dog still doesn't have water. You want to wait for Iris to move. You want to wait for Iris to move. Don't do it now. No. I guess... Yeah, no, you definitely can because you're player 2 at this point. You want Iris to move and then you hit her with the Dark Dragon Breath. Dog's troops won't be 100%. Oldius fully wiped them. You can end his action pretty safely. You can also move Hilda. Usually you should be focused on moving your tanks first. I'm just jamming. This music's so good. The reason is the reason that you want to let Iris move first is that then she can't respond by just healing people up after you use your AoE. You want to force them into that negative position where they have to make up for the AoE. And yeah, because of that, it looks risky. A 100% HP burn versus dog. You can't really safely B-shock here, and it also doesn't accomplish anything because it won't kill the Hilda, probably. And if Hilda thorns, then the chance of your dog getting one shot are that much higher. But if you just sit here, it's not right. Just stand. Don't even attack. They'll do it. No. Thorns. Okay, dog's probably dead. Bernhardt, single target. It's gonna really hurt. He is a bit debuffed. He has either an attack down debuff or a damage decrease debuff. Dog's still in water, so. Oh, but Hilda has tank priority. Yeah, you have to attack Kruger there. Because if you attack dog, then Hilda just blocks. Hilda might have died there, if not for that wind wall. It was very close. So I understand going for that play. Now you should probably just put up more Kruger debuffs. And there's still 4 turns before Zuko's units start dying to fog. 3. Yeah, 3 turns where 1 unit will have to die to fog. So Zuko needs to bust out of this position before that. This dog needs to die or this Hilda needs to die. Act Again is now available. Light Array is pretty much just chip and Oldios is Vidars, so it's some debuff removal as well. Maybe you want to hit dog with that instead. Not sure if Hilda's guard on Kaze's side got dispelled. Doggo can continue to maintain water. And these werewolves are really doing work, taking wise. There's only 2 single target DPS on Zuko's side, Bernhardt and Oldius. Oldius can wipe the troops, but every time you do that, Florentia can just easily respond by single target healing the dog, and even using a battle support gem. Hilda can easily continue to guard Kruger by just moving up 1 space. And Iris 3C has been burned. So that's not coming out anytime soon. It looks extremely difficult for Zuko to break this position. Zuko needed that T-Jess to stay alive. And by sniping a unit and giving Kaze turn priority, it allowed Kruger to counterkill the TJS, even if Kaze could not immediately. Zuko had to read ahead 2 or 3 turns there. Just don't attack. There's no reason. Well, I guess your werewolves heal anyway, and you have strategic regroup. You might as well, for damage counter. But this game probably doesn't come down to that. It looks like a fog loss for Zuko. Perhaps you need to be more aggressive, push up faster, not let people be able to occupy those pillar tiles that Kruger and Juggler are in. Oh, just fine. Florentia had ran out of buff. You want to refresh it. Iris can respond, and now you can hit them a little bit with Florentia AoE. The only target for healing is pretty much Hilda. In situations like these, you usually want to move quickly. You don't want to burn your backup timer on thinking when... You should think on your opponent's turn, optimally. But Zuko does make an interesting move to push that Hilda out. Hilda's the most likely person to survive, and Hilda on Kaze's side, her guard is down, so you can hit Florentia, but she's gotten an HP restoration buff from Kruger, Tenyo. Pretty unfortunate. And Kaze might as well act again here. I wouldn't suggest using Dark Ward first. You should use 3C. But it's okay. Because I think 3C will have 1 turn of cooldown, and you could just burn that immediately with Dark Ward next turn. And it's not like Dog is in any danger of dying. Those Kruger debuffs are brutal here. I'm not sure... Oh no, this map is just random, so Kaze just picked a good strat. Excuse me. Yeah, that 1 turn of cooldown. If Dark Ward was still up, but it does cycle Dark Ward faster. So that's the trade-off there. You could... Odious is passive blocked. I don't think this dog could kill. His attack looks really low. Maybe it's a blood pack dog? I didn't see the HP too well. Yeah, just guard the Florentia. She's not gonna die to that Hilda anyway, but... It's burning in action, making your opponent do something, and then you respond appropriately. And light array since it clocked. The healing on Kaze's side does not matter too much. You can get the 1 Hilda out, but on this turn end, there's only 1 more turn before that Bernhard and that Iris die. But Iris dies right now, Hilda got teleported in. It might have been better to teleport Bernhard out. Kaze is winning on the damage counter. And yeah, that dog takes a lot of damage, but... Nope, it's Bracer Dog. Otherwise, you get hit by Fixed. And now Florentia has an easy response. Just move up, heal the dog. Yeah. Battle support on dog won't do anything. It could help with Kruger a bit. I guess his werewolves were a bit less healthy than I thought. So that's fine. Yeah, werewolf. Well, that's also kind of why it wouldn't have helped, because the werewolves would have just healed. Kruger having Sorks up would have been nice, but it's not a big deal. I mean, Zuko's looking at 2 units dying in 2 turns. If his Oldius was just a bit stronger, he would be hitting this dog for a lot more. I didn't see what Bernhardt brought, skill selection wise. Kruger probably just uses Evil Overwhelming here. Puts up the debuff, and then next turn he can... Yeah, no, dog using Triton right now is also okay. Well, no. You don't want dog to die no matter what. You have to really focus on keeping dog alive. Yeah, dog's 100%. No way Bernhardt kills. Hilda should probably burn an action here on Zuko's side. But then Kaze responds by just burning his own Hilda's action, and no matter what, dog always gets the last action to heal a bit. Yeah, probably best to use Kruger and Hilda first, because water can get dispelled. And Zuko does have turn priority. But Hilda can move down 1 space. She will guard dog then. And then it's okay. Probably don't do that. You want to keep Kruger in that spot to block him off. Well, it's okay. Yeah, Hilda can just move 1 forward. No problem. Oh, but yeah, that's actually why you shouldn't have done that. And now the lockout is completed, or the lockout is broken. You can still force Oldius to die. It's going to be Kruger, Florentia, Hilda versus Bernhardt, Hilda. Pushing him? Yeah, that works too. Yeah. Okay, so now Oldius can't get out of the fog. He's also Moby down. He can punch Hilda. Oldius is definitely dead. But Zuko has turn prio. Still, Florentia will be 100% HP. It's a question of, can Burn kill that Florentia? So you might want to Dragon Breath, or Dark Dragon Breath, to reduce the incoming damage. That would help Florentia survive the best. Some debuffs on can help as well. Yeah, I think what's going to happen is Florentia is going to heal herself. And then she'll act again Kruger. Then Kruger will use... Oh. Florentia probably should just move next to Hilda. This doesn't full heal Florentia. There is a chance that Florentia will die to this Bernhardt, but you know, then again, it's werewolves, a demon unit, versus Florentia's Force Priest, holy units. So maybe she doesn't die anyway. Her soldier stat boost is predicated on her being 100% HP. But yeah, this is fun. Good Dark Ward on Florentia. That should ensure Burn does not kill. And now we're on to backup time. Yeah, just Dark Ward the Florentia. That's fine. Zuko's winning a lot on damage count though. Oldius should die here. So close. There's a 6-star Kruger, maybe. Bernhardt has to move underneath Florentia. Might have killed if not for that Dark Ward. But now Florentia is not being guarded. Yeah, sure. Just move Florentia one right. Then Hilda can move into Florentia's spot. Then Zuko's Hilda can be blocked out easily. Oh, but Bernhardt dies. Just fine. Now Florentia can move one down. And then Hilda can occupy the other spot, and it looks like GG. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. I needed to do my continuous battles. So yeah, it's pretty much over at this point. There's no chance this Hilda can survive. Yeah, you can just keep punching her, it's no problem. There's no healing for Hilda. She's fighting 3 people and 1 healer. Even if you're winning on the damage counter, it does not really matter. Well, does it? Oh, it might. It might. Okay, so Hilda needs to attack here. No. Hilda needs to attack. Yes. Kill the molders. Kruger attacks. Yep, kill. But now Hilda's 50%. Things are getting interesting. You can wipe the molders with Florentia, but the thorns, it hurts. Florentia won't have an active gun available. Kruger Sorks will probably not be full. And Hilda's gonna get a crystal molder heal here. Hilda needs to attack. Hilda needs to attack. Try to wipe the molders. Okay. The next best person, probably need to look at... Yeah, Florentia attacks. She battle supports Kruger. Yes. Now, Sorks are 100% HP. Already we're 100% HP. This Hilda should be dead, unless Aeolus procs. Okay. GG. A very tight endgame situation. It almost could have went in Zuko's favor. Just almost. If there was some worse RNG there, Zuko could have pulled out that win. So, as far as backup box goes, Kaze is playing a box that can handle single target or AoE strategies. There's plenty of units for both. Zuko as well, really. So maybe not too much needs to change unless you want to try to surprise your opponent with a crazy strat. The map is to be considered. It's Gemini Bridge and Verse Wave. The format, Illustrial is pretty good here. If you had her, you could consider slotting her in. Sure, let's listen to Persona music. I don't care. Oh wait, this is 2 hours of Heartbeat Heartbreak. Whatever. Let's jam. I'll change it in like 6 minutes. Just jamming. Okay, so Kaze made a couple. No, Kaze in the end decided to make no changes. I'm not sure if it was because the timer ran out. I saw him making changes. And Zuko opted to also make no changes. So, same boxes, same routes, both first banning Rosin because there's a large amount of debuff in both their boxes. First pick Balzo from Zuko side. There's not a lot of long leg single target to punish this. A tank wasn't first banned. Again, Kaze could opt to double ban healer here. But Kaze doesn't. Bans out the TJS. Saw last game that it gave him some trouble. Doesn't want to deal with it. Just fine. Kruger. Not too much debuff in this. Well, no, never mind. Buzzle was first pick. So yeah, Kruger ban makes sense. And Liana and Himiko getting banned. Again, we'll probably see Florentia out of Kaze. Zuko still chose player 1, knowing that he's going to go with this strat. Maybe a mistake. If giving player 2 Florentia Hilda is a tough matchup, so if you know you want to give them that, then maybe you should pick player 2 yourself. At least then there's a cost to them using Act again. Liko second pick. Kaze could still choose to ban Iris Liana here. But no, Kaze just like, screw that. I don't want to deal with your DPS. Ban the big threats. Reen is a big threat to Florentia when she's likely the only healer you're going to get, because Zuko could just choose to ban Liko Dog here. Then Kaze could get Mario, and she would be Tensei buffed. She could disable a debuffer. This stream equipped with Blood Pact or something? Why is it so red? It is the filter of the person streaming on Discord. There is nothing I can do about it. My apologies. It is not on my side. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. My stream quality should be fine. Yeah. Just gotta deal with it. Yeah, it's Kaze's stream, and it's not, as you can see if you look at my Twitch chat that my mouse is hovering over, I do not have this yellow piss filter, let's say. Okay, so Zuko picks up Hilda. Now, Kaze did decide to ban Iris Liana. And Liko's the only healer. And so Kaze sees that as a good opportunity to pick up Reen. Which I agree with. If it's not Bracer Liko, then she can very easily be shut down by Reen AoE. So Reen AoE is a very strong win condition already. He's maybe not more mobile than Balzo on this map because of flying and the nature of the forts and the water in the center. But his range is better. So we see Burn, 4th pick. Oldius gets banned. There's only Ares and Elwyn on Kaze's side that care about Oldius, but Oldius is an additional healer. Ares gets banned as well. He could potentially snipe Florentia. Yeah. Once the Reen AoE lands, if it hits that entire team, it's going to be really tough to deal with. And Kaze's looking like he's going to have more healing. Yeah, because he's going to pick TJS. Oh yeah. 6 minutes is when I said I would change this. What do I listen to? Yeah, let's go with this. More Persona 4 music, because that's some good shit. Okay. So Kaze has a very clear win condition here. That is Reen landing a good 3C on the opponent's team. It could potentially silence Licorice, so she couldn't respond, even if you were running full healer Licorice, which you could opt to do with Bracer. As for Zuko's side, it's all about Buldul reaching the enemy team. Florentia can zone that range though. It's a lot easier to zone 3 range or 3 span AoE than it is to zone Reen's 4. And there's also T-Jets for additional off heals. T-Jets can remain very far back and then teleport in. But it's also fighting a Hilda still. So there's a chance that it becomes risky to use 3C, and then you can't rely on the healing output of T-Jets. This is where you respond with sorry. Or ooh, yeah, that's fine too. Sword Dance Burn. Not running single target, try to bust the tank. Relying on that Licorice Buldul combo. Is that dominating formation I see on Kaze's side? What? I think that's a really big mistake. You really needed Tensei buff. Not only for Florentia, you also needed it for T-Jess. Because T-Jess doesn't really like to strengthen herself. With her act against, it doesn't mesh that well. She can do it, but it's not ideal. And you're giving up the stratagem income on Florentia by running dominating formation. And what are you really trying to counter here? Elwyn? He's just gonna use Reign of Glory outside of the range. He already has to, because he wants to move 4 blocks with unicorns to maximize his damage. You're not going to counter Licorice. She's going to use her act again early. Maybe he brought double guard just so he could refresh guard after Elwyn removes it. But there's not a great single target threat that's quick. There's only Bernhardt on Zuko's side. So I don't think you should run dominating formation here. You should just stick with the Tensei buff. Now Florentia's, her plays are limited. Oh, never mind. Bernhardt buff. So yeah, no. I can understand that more. This is going to be a long, drawn-out positioning game. You probably don't want to transform with Reign here immediately. He brought Arcane Gale. I would probably suggest bringing, what's the line AoE called? Shit. Gale Slash? I don't know. You should bring the line AoE on Rain here. And transforming turn 1 is premature. If Zuko wants, he can just pull back and run out the timer on Rain. Usually with Rain, you want to transform when you know you're going to be engaging within the next turn or two. It looks, yeah, Elwin didn't bring faction buff. He brought frontal assault. It doesn't stop Hilda's revive. It can kind of help versus Bernhardt, I suppose. But it's mostly just another damage skill, right? This is a little bit more height. And hopefully this album doesn't give me DMC yet. Breeze on Rain? Yeah, that works. Because now Zuko can't disengage. He moved Hilda up too far to be able to pursue that strategy. And maybe with this sort of team you should, because most of your DPS are slow, other than Elwin. But teams are as fast as their slowest member. If you don't have the follow-up, then it doesn't matter. Like, Elwin can reach right now, but it's plus formation, and there's a guard on Hilda. It's not going to do anything. Elwin needs to combo with the other units in this comp. So even if Elwin has that amazing range, if the rest of your units can't reach, it's dead. But is Reen going in right now the best thing? No. Probably not. Your opponent has turn priority. Elwin can just kill the Reen. So if anything, breezing Reen here gave your opponent the idea that maybe I need to back off a bit. However, there is a potentially crazy teleport play coming from here. Yeah, no, not crazy. He still, Bernhardt is in range of Elwin. If he wasn't, you could really teleport Hilda super far up. But then Zuko just moves Bozel, and Reen can't target anyway. So, just giving Hilda a bit better of a position, gaining stacks on TJS, just fine. It lets Kaze move more towards the center. Very strong Bernhardt. Not a lot of HP or defense, but pretty good attack. Maybe full moon. We've seen Burn in like every game, or both the games, and he hasn't breathed, so. I don't feel Arcane Gale was right here. Reen could pressure a lot better with line AoE, and he could also have just used it turn 1 and built up more talent stacks. A bit risky of a position for Bernhardt. I guess not. Hilda always has the last move, so no matter what, she can maintain guard. So that's okay. Just giving more threat. I don't know what Kaze is pointing out there. The sorts. Yeah, they need 100% HP, bro. I'm kidding. I guess Liko tiles are potentially a good answer to TJS. But if anything, you'd like to deal less damage to Hilda so you don't die and you can also heal. But then I guess if your Sorks are disabled... Yeah. So, if your Sorks are disabled, then TJS is going to be doing a lot more of the damage than would be otherwise normal, which makes it more likely that she kills herself off of Thorns. So yeah, that is relevant because of Liko tiles. And now Reen moves up. Like, imagine if he transformed in this position, right? Then he'd have 3 turns up on his timer. And there'd be a really big... excuse me. Man, I'm probably gonna get nailed for this music because it's Nintendo. Shit. Whatever. I just want to see this dominating formation. I love that skill on Hilda. I feel it's very much underappreciated. But you won't use it until your guard gets dispelled, because if you use it early, then 3C is 3 turn guard, dominating formation is 2, so dominating formation will never overwrite 3C. As long as it's up. So if you wanted to maintain permanent guard, you'd have to use dominating formation first. And even then, there's still a gap turn. It's not like Landius where you can bring Tranquility and 3C and always have guard, because they're both 2 turns. And yeah, Hilda moving up onto that fort, just fine. Already, Kaze's occupying the center with Reed. And there's teleport plays to, let's say, put Hilda underneath Reed next turn. Not this turn, next turn. And also Hilda should be able to reach that water tile anyway. I don't know. That's actually something I don't know. If you swap into Cav with Hilda, do you get Cav movement penalty? We'll see in a minute. It just feels like Zuko can't approach the center, and Fog's going to force him to, and as soon as he does, it's going to be a Reen AoE blast that just wrecks. Kaze playing patiently is very good here. That's the way you have to play versus SBON. It's all about forcing your opponent to engage, which occupying the center is a pretty good way to do that. Damn, this has been a long set. It's only game 2. The players choosing longer games. Reen going into AoE here is fine, if he wants. Yeah, Bozol kind of mispositioned here. He didn't want to move into range of Reen AoE with Hildegard. The reason is you can't punish this. Hilda still has dominating formation. You go in with Elwyn, you dispel guard. Hilda just puts up dominating formation up immediately, and you still can't punish it. And now a bunch of your people are nailed. We see a heal block on Bozol. We see a heal block on Licorice. Didn't get a silence. I didn't check if Liko skill's green, which would indicate that she's Bracer. Liko used mass heal last turn. Usually you want to set up healing tiles before that. That way you would have mass heal up this turn, right? And units could still derive benefit from those healing tiles. And Zuko's running out of backup time. It's going to be hard for him to make good positioning plays, but at this point it doesn't matter that much. Okay, so yeah, Liko has to burn Demonic Advent to put up mass heal again. And now you're going to overwrite those healing tiles. It's not a situation you usually want to be in. There's still a couple healing tiles, but they're out of range of Guard of Hilda now. And Hilda doesn't want to move here. You want to wait until that Elwyn comes in, you're player 2. You have turn priority. You even have an act again available. So, yeah, probably move Burn. Save your Florentia action depending on what the Elwyn does. Burn's not a big deal here. He can go for the Sword Dance play. And it would probably be good with the Reen combo. Like, this Liko likely is dead to the next Reen AoE. Because of that heal block on her to begin with. But playing safe and occupying the center and forcing your opponent to make something happen is also fine. Assuming Elwyn goes on Hilda on that tile underneath her. Yeah, not Bracer Liko. Okay, yeah, this is fine. You just move Florentia above Hilda. Maybe act again, Reen. It doesn't cost you anything, really. You could also have considered leading with Bernhardt to begin with. Then Massiel would have done absolutely nothing. You probably kill Bern here. Ooh. So close. What happened there? Hegemony dispelled attack buff on Elwyn is what happened there. Or Hegemony from 3C. Rough stuff. Yeah, no. Hegemony dispelled Elwyn's attack buff. And that's the only reason that Bernhardt survives. Because it's the appropriate tile for unicorns. It was the appropriate run-up. It's just... Bernhardt RNG'd you to death. Elwyn is debuff immune, and of course, Reen gets active again here. And now it's looking like Bozol and Licorice are dead. And that seems to be GG. Bernhardt sword dances, but for what? He kills the burn, but it really does not matter. Oh, Reen clocked 3C? That's even worse. Jesus. Yep, just hit him with the 3C again. Send it. Dead. And now Hilda can't refresh her guard with dominating formation. Elwyn does have Sword Soul, but it doesn't matter if Reen dies here. Bozo and Licorice are dead. Even Burn, he should have 4 stacks of Reen's fixed damage, which will significantly lower after Reen dies. But it doesn't matter. There's still a T-Death. And your healers are all dead. Yup. Heal block on the burn too. Gurus did purge enough. But Reen has another AoE. And this is where we really send it. If Kaze realizes. Click that Reen. You used 3C last turn. Because you fought. Why? Why? I'm kidding. I'm not kidding, but... You always have to be aware of your options. Yep. Bozo Liko dead. Burn pretty damn close. Gonna die to the fixed damage after. And it's going to be Elwyn and Hilda versus Hilda, Florentia, T-Jess. With no way to kill the Florentia right now. Yep. GG. Zuko knows it. He calls it. And that is this round of 64 match. Kaze versus Zuko. Kaze wins 2-0. Better luck to Zuko in next season. And congratulations to Kaze on advancing to the round of 32. That is all for my stream. Thank you guys for watching so much. Always appreciate it. Love you. And good night. And bye.